And hello, welcome to this video. So in this video I just want to clarify some things with our last video. We actually found that it's a little bit difficult to have what do you call that, have column names, okay, column names with spaces or special characters in them. How do we actually do it? Okay, we are supposed to use this thing called backtick. Okay, a backtick on the keyboard. Where is it located? Okay, keyboard. Okay, where is the tick back character? Okay, if you go to images, you should be able to find the backtick right here. Okay, just to the left of your number one keyboard. Okay, your number one key. Well, at least that's where it is on my computer. Okay, it's also where you find your squiggly line, your tilde, what do you call it? Your tilde key. So the tilde key is one, the backtick key is the other thing. So this is where you find your backtick. Okay, so if I were to show tables, okay, I have a component data table which I just tried to create. Let me drop it first and then I will show you. Let me drop this first. I have to drop the table component data. Okay, doesn't matter how much white space you have between them, it's still sort of okay-ish. Okay, so if I select things from component data, well, there's nothing to select there. The table doesn't exist. So let me show tables, and there's nothing here. So I want to create the table again. So let's do create table component, or let me just write com data, open the bracket, and let's start typing. So we will have, first thing first is our ID. Let's have our ID. So ID, okay, what's the data type? Integer. And the other thing is that what else is the what else do we want? We want auto increment. Okay, so comma. Okay, next one will be component name. So we use the backtick this time to become the quotes. Component name. Okay, what will this be? This will be a variable character. We'll just put 255 here and use the not null. Okay, next thing we'll have component type. Okay, and what will this be? A variable character as well. Varchar 255 not null. Next thing we'll want is the temperature in Kelvin. So I'll just use temperature in Kelvin. What will this be? It will be a double. Next one, pressure in pascals. Okay, I'll put this as a double. I'll not specify anything. Next thing, mass flow rate, kg per second, put double. And then what's the last thing? We need to actually input this primary key. How do we put the primary key again? Okay, look at our create table. You just use this thing, primary key, and then we have to enclose the ID. Okay, primary key. We have to enclose the ID within the brackets. So put the ID here. ID is the primary key of this. Okay, so that's it. And then close and semicolon. Okay, it will say query OK, 0 rows affected. It means that the table has been created successfully. Okay, it seems that we can actually just use double without actually specifying whether it's null or not null. We don't even need to do anything like specify the number of decimal places and all that. So that it appears that this backtick thing actually works very well. So if you want to drop this table, we can drop the let's show tables first, and let's drop com data. There's one more thing I want to test. Or drop table com data. There's one more thing I want to test. It's whether I can use the keyword string. Okay, can I use the keyword string? So let's use the keyword string and see whether this same create table actually works. String. Okay, it says unknown data type string, so you cannot use that. Use the word variable character. Okay, or maybe you'll just leave it blank. Let's see whether it works. Okay, it will complain of a syntax error, so yeah, we do need the number of characters, maximum characters here. Okay, so let's just put that in, and we'll be able to create that table. So yeah, fiddling around does help us to understand the syntax, what works, what doesn't. Okay, so yeah, we have made a table. Show tables here, and let's Control L to clear everything up. Show tables again. Sure. Okay, so we have a table com data, and let's start inserting the tables. So the only thing that is that cannot be nulled, okay, is a component name and component type. I specified them as a not null. Remember, not null is these are things that you're supposed to always fill no matter what. So let's show you how to fill in a table. Okay, so this is the insert statement. So the insert statement actually inserts rows into the table. So let's do this. Insert into, then you're supposed to put the table name here, put the list of the columns here, and put the list of the values you want to put here. So okay, so this is what we are supposed to do. Okay, so you see the component data here. Okay, oops. Oh, okay, before I continue, I want to show you this show columns command, because if I use the same syntax, which is called select star from com data, I will not be able to see any columns here. Okay, so the way to do show columns, which means I just want to know the column names here. What's the column names here? Okay, so I will need to use this show columns thing. So show columns from which table name? Com data, and a semicolon, and then I'll be able to see all of these things here, all the columns. So the fields here are ID, component name, component type, temperature Kelvin, pressure pascals, mass flow rate kg per second. Nice. Okay, so what are we supposed to do when we insert data? Well, we'll take a look here at the syntax. Okay, insert into the table name. Okay, insert. Okay, insert into. Okay, what's the table name? Com data. Okay, this is my table name. Just type show tables and you'll find the table name. If you want to show the columns, the column names, so you just say show columns from the table name, which is com data. So let's insert into com data. Okay, you should type the component names. Okay, remember, first is ID. Okay, second is component name. Okay, third is component type. Fourth is, okay, oh shucks, I totally forgot. Let me semicolon this and I'll just get an error. I wanted to type in my backticks. Okay, so the thing about having all this is that the thing about having all these backticks and spaces between the names is that every time you type them out, you have to use these backticks, which can be a bit annoying from time to time. Not that it doesn't work, not that it's illegal or whatever, but it can get a little bit annoying to work with at times. Pressure. Okay, let's just fill in the rest first, and we'll just work with this. Pressure in pascals, mass flow rate, kg per seconds. Everything is case sensitive here, so be very careful. Close the brackets. Okay, close the brackets. So that's the first thing. We need to specify all the column names, and then you type this thing here called values. So you type in the component names first, and then you type the keyword values, open bracket, So what's the first thing you want to insert? Okay, the first thing I want to insert is a component name called pump01. Okay, or maybe I'll use backticks again. pump-01. Okay, comma. Next thing I want to type this thing is it's a pump, obviously. The third thing is that what's the temperature? Temperature here is 293, so let me put 293 Kelvin. Okay, next thing here is the pressure, 1 atmosphere, 10300 pascals. Mass flow rate, 0.8 kg per second. Close it up, and then make sure you semicolon. Close up, semicolon. Okay, so it says unknown column pump01 in field list. Okay, well, pump01, okay, pump01 column. Okay, pump01 column, the data pump01 should not go into the ID, because okay, the first column I specified here is ID, so I do not want to put the pump01 into ID, because that doesn't make sense. So I'm supposed to add in one more piece of data here. The ID number should be 1. Okay, so that's the manual way of doing things. So it says unknown column pump01 in field list. Okay, hold on a while. I think I know what's going on, or I have a conjecture of what's going on, a guess, is that backticks are always used for these field names like component type, component data. These are for the column names, but for the values here, don't use backticks. You're supposed to use these inverted commas, the single inverted commas or double inverted commas. If I do this, I think it should work. So 101,300 and 0.8. Let's put 0.8 here. Alright, and let's enter. Okay, one row affected. Everything is working. So let's do again. Show tables. Okay, it's still com data. Okay, select everything. So select star from com data. And then what do we have? ID, component name, component type, temperature, pressure, mass flow rate, 1, pump01, pump 293, 101,300, 0.8. So we have actually successfully made our first insertion here into this table. Okay, now let me show you. Okay, I think that's enough for now. I don't want to keep going too long. Okay, so if you just want to delete this table or delete the row, you can do so, and that will be the last thing for this example. Okay, how do you delete? Where's the create table? It says insert into multiple rows, update. Okay, update is not here. Okay, let me go and see. Okay, so okay, let's take a look at this. This is the delete statement for MariaDB. They just say delete from table name where there is some condition. Okay, so how do you use this? Okay, if you take a look at this one, this is an example of how to delete a row from the table. Delete from some table where, okay, the column name property equals to some value. So for example here, last name equals to Smith. So what's the thing, what's the row look like here? Well, the temperature in Kelvin equals to 293, so we can actually use that as a condition to delete the table or delete the row. Though better practice is to delete by the ID, which is the primary key. Always use the primary key to delete like single ones, in case, well, you have other components with temperature of 293, and then the whole thing, any component with 293 Kelvin is gone. So use the ID instead. Okay, so delete from which table. So there's two things you can use. So select is to view, delete is to delete from com data. Okay, so delete from component data. What do we want to delete? Where id equals to 1. Okay, and then we put a semicolon here and let it do its thing. So you can see the thing is okay, the id equals to 1. So let's try selecting everything from the same table, com data. So that will show us whatever data is there, and you can see nothing is there now. Alright, so we've learned how to we've learned a little bit about how to insert data, how to delete data, and of course we know how to drop the table already. So we can actually just drop this com data, drop table com data. So to take a while, get used to these commands, to type them into this command line interface. Hopefully this is helpful. Of course I will leave everything in the description, and again, I'm not that experienced than what, but I'm just walking you through. As I learn, I put videos here. So if you are learning along with me, yeah, sure, do enjoy yourself. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Bye bye.